Get ready for the action, because the Knicks exposed everything wrong with the Sixers. Paul George was exactly what Philadelphia needed in the first quarter of Game 3, hitting 3 threes and setting the tone for the series. But then, the shots stopped falling, and George went scoreless for the rest of the night, showing the devastating lack of consistency plaguing the Sixers. We dive into the deep analysis of why the Knicks controlled the hustle plays and the rebounding that slowly wore down the Philadelphia squad.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we look at Tyrese Maxey and his push for a bigger role next season. Maxey faced intense defensive pressure during the playoff series against the New York Knicks, struggling with traps and double teams. He shared his insights on how elite players must contribute both with and without the ball, and what he hopes the Sixers will do to diversify their offense moving forward. Now, we examine the fallout from the exhaustion, focusing on Nick Nurse's heavy reliance on stars and the resulting impact. Nick Nurse leaned hard on Tyrese Maxey in Game 2 and 3, playing him nearly 45 minutes, which directly contributed to the 76ers running out of gas in the fourth quarter. We break down the workload disparity between Maxey and rookie VJ Edgecombe and what it means for the team's future. Finally, we look at the fantasy perspective after the embarrassing sweep by the Knicks. We analyze the fantasy outlook for Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, the status of Joel Embiid, and the tough decisions the Philadelphia front office faces regarding players like Paul George and the potential impact of the Jared McCain trade. Don't miss this breakdown as we look at what's next for the 76ers. The New York Knicks have decisively exposed significant weaknesses within the Philadelphia 76ers, ultimately securing a commanding series advantage. Following a promising start in Game 3, where the Sixers showed flashes of potential, with Paul George scoring 15 early points and Tyrese Maxey finding his rhythm, the team's offensive consistency evaporated. The Knicks capitalized on this breakdown, turning missed rebounds into second-chance points and leveraging superior bench scoring, which New York held a significant advantage in at halftime of Game 3. By the fourth quarter, Philadelphia fell 108-94, signaling a potential shift in momentum. Game 4 served as a formality, with the Knicks overwhelming the opposition. Analysts suggest the series' outcome was not determined by star power, but by underlying team dynamics. The Knicks excelled in hustle plays, rebounding, bench minutes, and defensive consistency, contrasting sharply with the Sixers' struggles with fatigue, particularly evident in Joel Embiid's physical toll and Tyrese Maxey's relentless workload. The pattern observed across the series was clear. Moments of brilliance were fleeting, quickly erased by breakdowns in execution, rebounding, or shooting consistency. The Knicks maintained composure, whereas the Sixers appeared fragile, indicating that the difference between the two teams lies in depth and sustained execution under pressure. Tyrese Maxey is looking to expand his offensive game next season, aiming to play more off-ball, following a strong season with the Philadelphia 76ers, where he is widely anticipated to secure his first All-NBA selection in the 2025-26 season. However, Maxey encountered challenges dealing with aggressive defensive pressure during the team's second-round playoff series against the New York Knicks, according to Gina Meisel of the Philadelphia Inquirer. Maxey reported struggling intermittently against traps and double teams throughout the series. He expressed a desire for the team to diversify its offensive approach in the upcoming season, particularly as rookie VJ Edgecombe continues his development as a playmaker. Speaking on the issue, Maxey emphasized the necessity for elite players to maintain effectiveness both with and without the ball to consistently pressure opposing defenses. He stated, "When you're in front of the defense all the time, it gives the opponent opportunities that have the entire team kind of load up." He further elaborated on the value of off-ball movement, asserting that great players can utilize their gravity in various ways. Maxey concluded, "And I feel like that's one thing that really good players and great players can do. They can be on the ball and make plays on the ball, but they can also play off the ball and contribute that way, use their gravity that way. The New York Knicks secured a sweep of the Philadelphia 76ers in Game 4, concluding their second-round series victory, a result analysts suggest was heavily influenced by the exhaustion of key players. The primary factor cited is Nick Nurse's perceived overuse of star guard Tyrese Maxey during the intense games. Nurse played Maxey 47 minutes in Game 2 and 44 minutes in Game 3, a workload that reportedly left the 76ers depleted in the fourth quarters of both losses. Maxey led the NBA in minutes per game this season, averaging 38 minutes over 70 games, a significant contrast to the limited minutes played by established stars Joel Embiid and Paul George, who managed only 38 and 37 games, respectively. Rookie Maxey and Edgecombe also registered high minutes, averaging 35 in 75 games. Nurse appears to believe the younger players can manage the load, citing Maxey's previous second-place ranking in minutes in Philadelphia. However, fatigue became evident late in the series. Maxey shot 2-for-7 in the fourth quarter of Game 4, and Edgecombe went 0-for-4 in that period, as the Sixers struggled to score. The team's athleticism, which is a key asset, diminished when players were running on empty, suggesting a potential lack of trust from Nurse and his reserves, such as Quentin Grimes, who averaged nearly 30 minutes in the regular season. The situation underscores the critical need for the Sixers to bolster their guard and wing depth, particularly following the departure of Jared McCain, to alleviate pressure on Maxey. Experts suggest the team should prioritize managing the workload of their young superstars over luxury tax considerations. The Philadelphia 76ers have entered a critical juncture following a stunning second-round sweep, which saw them defeat the Boston Celtics in 7 games at TD Garden. While the series ended in a swift 4-game sweep against the New York Knicks, the performance provides a key benchmark for evaluating the team's trajectory moving forward. Analyzing the season from a fantasy basketball perspective reveals several key takeaways for the upcoming season. Tyrese Maxey is firmly established as a premier first-round fantasy asset. He demonstrated exceptional availability coupled with high-end production, finishing 6th in high score and 5th in 9 cat leagues, significantly outpacing his average draft position. Maxey averaged career highs across multiple statistical categories, showcasing elite guard play and shooting efficiency, cementing his status as a top-tier prospect at just 25. Maxey and Edgecombe also stands on a strong trajectory following a successful rookie campaign. Ranked highly in draft metrics, he proved to be a top fantasy pickup, with a high percentage of leagues undrafting him. Optimism remains high following his off-season commitment to improving his shooting, suggesting a potential draft position in the 6th or 7th rounds next year. However, the narrative surrounding Joel Embiid remains complex. Consistent availability issues during the regular season have complicated his fantasy outlook, and the team's postseason needs suggest this issue may persist. While Embiid was the decisive factor in the first-round series against Boston, his availability presents a significant risk for fantasy managers, potentially pushing his ad even further ahead. Paul George's fantasy viability appears diminished. Despite respectable per-game averages, his limited playing time and recent injury struggles, coupled with his admission of needing to address physical decline, raise concerns about his production level. Given his contract situation and recent performance, drafting George outside the top 75 is advised. As the team navigates potential off-season changes, including contract implications and roster adjustments, Philadelphia holds the 22nd pick in a deep draft. The core players are largely draftable, but Maxey and Edgecombe offer the most immediate upside. The focus for the front office will be on assessing roster moves, including potential re-ups or departures, to shape the team for the future.